And then the next thing we have to do, I believe, is change the name and join the domain, and then a few more things, and then we're done. And then, as I said, we have 3 server instances where we can start playing with high availability solutions. And after, what I'm going to do, obviously, after this, I'm going to install SQL 2014 on each of the servers. I may demonstrate that. If I find it's going to be any different than what it was previously, I will. If not, I'll probably just install it and those will work from there, but I'll play it by ear. Because I know it's, I went over how to install SQL Server pretty in detail in the other courses, so I don't think we want to waste time there, but just in case there is something that I need you to do, I'll point it out. But if not, we may just omit that step, if you will, because I think you should be comfortable in installing SQL 2014 as a default instant, which is basically just literally going OK to everything. So while this pops up again, so let's look at things now. So change the computer name. And remember, the computer name is, on this one, we're going to go on to first. Press the window key, right click, and right click, or you can go here, go to properties. It's taking its sweet time because obviously it's using a lot of resources. And now we're going to change the name, so go to change settings, change, and we're going to call this server 2, and we're going to join the domain SQL, caps SQL, and we're going to go OK. And hopefully a sign will come up for our cluster admin. And remember the cluster admin. So type in the word cluster admin. Cluster. I think I spelled that wrong. Cluster admin. Take the caps off. Password. And go OK, and hopefully we can join that. And there we go. So that joined that, that's wonderful. Same thing here, and obviously we have to restart it. So go close and restart now. So while that's working, let's move over here. And here, go to properties. And let's move this a little here so you can see it. Change settings. Change. Let's call this server 3. Domain SQL. OK. And there we go. So we'll have cluster. And hopefully we can join that, which we did. We're doing great here. And let's restart this also. And we're almost there. So a few more things here now. So we've done this, we've done this. We're going to change the, start the server domain, cluster admin account, and then just do a couple more things like we did previously, and then we're good to go. So let's go over here, start. And again, now we want to join, go the other, type in cluster admin. Cluster. And go enter. Same thing with here. Now this is going to be good practice for you, even though we're doing relatively simple things, if you will, where you're managing multiple servers, because you're certainly going to be working with multiple instances of SQL in the production environment. So it's going to be and most likely you'll have 2 or 3 monitors, as I do, and it's going to be beneficial to you to kind of pay attention to different monitors and different instances, if you will, and see what's going on. As I said, it's a great responsibility, you being a DBA. And every little bit of experience helps, no matter how trivial it may seem. You'll be surprised how it helps you concentrate and focus your attention on specific things that you're doing. And here we go. So let's right here, go OK here. So you'll certainly be multitasking, no doubt. Cluster admin. Tap the password and let's begin. So again, let's go here. This may come off because I think it already, because of the virtual tools, I believe. So what we have to do now is just a couple of things. We've joined it. We've started the cluster admin, just disable the pop-ups and the IE and the folder, and then we're good to go. So let's see. So we can start here. Okay, yeah, so this is going to restart again. Okay, that didn't help. And there we go. So on server 2, let's just expand it a little. We need to do manage. We need to disengage that pop-up of the server management. So do not start. Go OK. The other thing we need to do is go to local computer. Let this load. The IE configuration, change that to off. And then we should be good there. And then one more thing is make sure we can access the folder software. And then we can close this. And as you can see, it's joined 2. So and the way to remember to do that is you go to Player, Manager, Virtual Machine Setting, go to Options, Share Folder, Always Enabled, Map it, Add, Next, Browse, and then obviously we're going to go to the C and then Software. And that's where Software C, okay, and that's where actually the 2014 SQL is saved. And just to double check that we've got that, press the key and let's see if we can see the SQL 2000 that I just installed. And what I did here in order to get this, obviously I've told you before that when we downloaded the ISO file, I took the ISO file and used the burning software to make a DVD out of it. From the DVD, I just copy pasted the contents of SQL and just made a folder of it, so I don't have to use the disk anymore. So this is easier also. So that's what you need to do if you want to do it, or you can do it directly from the disk. That's entirely up to you. So this particular is set, I believe. I think we've done everything here. So let's just minimize this and let's go to 3. And we need to do the same things with 3. Go to Manage, Server Properties, and then Local Manager or Local Server, IE Configurations, turn them off. And then we're going to do the sharing of the folder. And that is it. And then we've done a great job in manage in getting the 3 virtual environments set up. So I hope by now you can kind of appreciate that you can navigate this through yourself, feel confident in enjoying creating these, and with experience, obviously that's the key thing. It's not just one thing you want to do once and let it go, or you're going to have to do it constantly. When I do this, I rehearse this at least once before I present it to you, and then key, so I know it also. And let's just double check we can access the software. And we can. So let me see what we are on time. And that's fine. So this is good. So now that we have obviously I don't have one powered on because I don't want to utilize the resources. But as you can see, Power 2 is done and Server 3 is done. So we're good. Now, if we want to see the Server 3, for example, double click the icon again. And obviously we can start it here. and we can say power on. One thing I want you to note is if after creating the virtual machines and you do not see your virtual machine here, it does not mean that the virtual machine was not created. It just means it's not populated in this particular pane. And the way you can verify that is go open your C drive, go to users, and then obviously your name. So mine's obviously Raphael here. And then under documents, and this is the default folder where it created the virtual machines. So when you created a virtual machine, remember the path. You may want to copy paste the path so you can see it. And here it is. So if you double click it here, this is the virtual machine that's being created in the background. And if I were to start it, you would just double click on the server virtual machine and it'll start. So just in case you don't see it there, that's how it's working. Okay, so we've done this. We've joined the domain. We've got the 3 servers. We're pretty much in good shape. What I want to do now actually is start installing SQL 2014. So let's see if I can do that here and continue this. Now, obviously, you'll notice that the time is gone beyond my allotted 20 minutes. But what I'm going to do is just split this video and we'll start it from there. So what I'm going to do now is just pause for a quick second on the 25th second, and then we'll pause it here and take it from there. And then I'll split the video here for the SQL installations. There. So let's start continuing with our server. So I do want to start with 1, so I'm going to open that and go OK. Now, obviously, I'm going to just start with SQL Server 1, and I'm going to be installing SQL Server 2014. After I've done this, obviously, I'm not going to demonstrate it to you, but I'm going to install SQL 2014 on Server 2 and Server 3. So when I come back, you'll notice that we'll have all those 3 virtual machines populated with SQL 14. And then one of the next videos, a couple of videos I may dedicate to the enhancement that 2014 has. I'll talk about the enhancements of 2014, as I said. And then after that, we're going to start with the log shipping. That's going to be the first ones we look at for HA Solutions. So let me just minimize this while that's going on. And let's start and type the password. And we're good. So now we can start installing SQL 2014. And let me just start it, and then we'll see if we really need to pay attention to it or not. So type in or hit the key. Hit the computer. And let's look at that map drive that we have. And there it is. Go to software. SQL, as I said, I copy pasted this. So I'm just going to start setup.